What's up, guys? It's Mom and Dad Head and Athena here, and we are back with another Fair Friday. So the first thing I want to say is basically the inspiration for this video was from a Twitter page. I tweeted at them and I said, hey, I do Fair Fridays on my channel, and you know, what should my topic for this week be? Because to be honest, guys, I'm legit so excited for Fear the Walking Dead, and it's getting so close to Fear the Walking Dead that I'm clouded. Like, I can think of all these amazing topics, and then it gets so close to time to make a video, and my head is just like, I'm so excited, I'm so excited, I'm so excited, and like, it just gets all clouded up and I can't think of anything. And this topic, I think, is absolutely perfect. So I'm going to put their Twitter page up right here, and the tweet that was sent out and replied to and what they said. And they said that the topic should be like how the characters have changed, like the characters that we already know and love, how have they changed? So this Twitter page, Fear Source, I love this page. Seriously, I have it set to notifications. I love Fear the Walking Dead. I love this page. They keep everything updated literally like to the second. It feels like as soon as something is put out, they immediately put it up on the Twitter, and I think it's absolutely awesome. So a lot of my information actually comes from these guys. Or person. I'm not sure who runs this page, but they're phenomenal, so thank you. I'm gonna read some of the character bios, updated character bios for season 4, also from their page if you scroll down, and I'll put them in the corner of the screen as well. So before I go into the characters and read these bios, the first thing I want to say is I will not be talking about Morgan, and I will not be talking about Luciana. Now, I know that I know Morgan and I know Luciana, but I want to talk about Luciana next week. So I want her to have like a video of her own, because she has come a long way to, you know, come back to Fear the Walking Dead after all this time. And I love Morgan. You guys know, I'm so excited for this crossover. At first, I was like a little like anxious. I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but it seems like they really still appreciate the Fear cast that I love. So I'm definitely growing more okay with it. And of course, Lenny James is a phenomenal actor. He, like, I'm watching Jericho right now, and I'm literally like freaking out in my head thinking, I need to go watch Jericho right now. And Morgan is my favorite character on The Walking Dead, so it's no disrespect to that. It's just I want to stay true to the characters that we have grown with over the past 3 seasons, and I love these guys, and I really just want to focus on them. So the first bio that I'm going to read is Madison Clark, and it says, when we last saw Madison in season 3, she had just narrowly escaped death and was alone and unsure of the fate of her children and friends, vowing to never let that happen again. She's gone through extraordinary lengths to make sure it doesn't. These new circumstances she's created for herself aren't just about avoiding past mistakes, they're about finding a way to make up for them. So I'll go ahead and talk now like about her character and what I think and the changes that I think that she's making. So it's not been a secret that I haven't been like a huge mega fan of Madison, but she is definitely growing on me. And the important thing that I think we have to remember with this insanely huge time hop is that these characters can be different characters. Like, they can be so different, because this is literally like years since we've seen them. So they can be completely different people. So from what it seems here is that she's less of a, let me see how I can like fit myself into the situation and like kind of backhandedly be in charge. And it seems like she's more of a take charge, I'm going to voice my opinion to everyone type now. And the issue that I had with her before was, you know, like the kind of secrecy that she had. I can understand like a method to what people do, but it's just something I personally don't like. But taking charge with Troy, whether I liked that death or not, I thought that that was a phenomenal decision and like big turning point for her character. So what this sounds like is she's not beating around the bush anymore. Like, that's done. She's here. She's in charge. She is going to do whatever she has to do to make this work. And one other reason that I had kind of issues with her is like parallel with my own life and like the way she treated Alicia and her relationship with Alicia and her relationship with Nick. And it seems like that's going to change. I could be wrong, but just by this description alone and what I've seen of her, she seems more hardened, more into it, and not afraid to be who she is, like, at all. Thank you for the ribbon. You're so sweet, Cowbug. Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's Madison. She knows all these characters. Okay, so the next person I'm going to talk about is Alicia. And it says, sorry, I have like, my computer screen is acting crazy. So it says, at the end of season 3, Alicia tried to go off on her own, thinking that being away from her family and friends was the best way to survive. In season 4, she'll have discovered a new confidence and strength, which will affect her relationships with the people closest to her. She'll have a newfound sense of purpose, which will test her in ways she never thought possible. So, you guys know, my favorite is Strand. Always going to be Strand, probably. But I am so excited for Alicia. And this is a character that I've loved from the start. So this is a character I felt like I could relate to. Although now I feel like she is like way too advanced from what I could be. I just think she is amazing. What it seems like here is that she went through like her teens being second best. And I feel like she thought she was second best, but also at the same time knew she wasn't second best. Like, she knew that like certain treatment that she got wasn't fair, but it's hard to get out of that mindset. Now, in the past seasons that we've seen with her, we've seen her grow tremendously. Like, this character has grown so much, and she is taking charge of her own life. There comes a point, whether, you know, like, your parents or your family or whoever treated you in a bad way, there's a point in your life where you have to say, you know what, forget that. I'm my own person. I'm not going to let that define who I am. And she, like, is a perfect example of that. It also says, like, her new confidence and strength will affect her relationships with the people close to her. I mean, in general, growing up, your parents want to be, like, in charge and have direction for you. And especially in her case, having her own direction and taking it and being confident in it, I can see Madison being like, whoa, let's do this, and Alicia being like, no, this is how it's going to be. So I can see that affecting her relationship with Madison. But maybe in a positive way, you never know. So Nick, it says at the end of season 3, Nick's efforts to protect the people he cared for didn't exactly work out the way he had hoped. His plan to save Madison, Alicia, and Strand put them in terrible danger. In season 4, Nick will have found a new way forward in a walker-infested world. He'll have an approach that allows him to protect the people he cares about and be the person that he wants to be. But one question remains for Nick: how long can it last? Now, I have to admit, and I really hope I don't get any hate for this, if any character out of like the big 4 has to go, I'm picking Nick, I'm sorry. I know that he's like really big fan favorite, but how long can it last? If time runs out for anyone, I just kind of hope it's Nick. No huge disrespect to his character. Like I've said in my character breakdown, he's a character that's kind of like, I don't love, but I don't hate. So like if I had to pick one, it would be him. But it says he's found a new approach. So we've seen him be incredibly inconsistent in the past, like what he wants to do, how he acts, but like one thing for certain is that he's liked to be outside with the walkers. And we've seen in trailers that he said to a small child that he stays inside the walls here. So I'm kind of guessing that he takes a less physical approach to things now. Like he doesn't like avidly go out and fight. Maybe help keep order inside the walls where they are. But I am curious to see how he is, how his addiction is, and how he has changed. Because I think if anybody could make a drastic change, it would be Nick. Let's see. Last certainly not least, Strand. So this season, Strand will find himself at a crossroads between the man he's been and the man he wants to be. The decisions he made at the end of the 3rd season will weigh heavily on him and force him to confront demons of his past. But on another side of that struggle lies the promise of the thing that he wants most, redemption. So I'm kind of worried about his character too, and the reason being is super silly. And that is my favorites always die, and Strand is by far my favorite. So you can see, like, the last episode for him, we all know the decisions that are weighing heavily on him. What happened with him and Daniel, what happened with him and the dam in general, like what all choices that he made that put people in certain positions, or maybe he thought helped, but now he can see like all the sides of everything. He did from the beginning, but he was kind of on like a one-track mind. He was clearly a con man. He will tell you he's a con man, which in my opinion is a bad con man. Like if somebody walks in, I've said this before, walks into your house, hey, I'm gonna steal all of your valuables. They steal them, come back the next day, hey, might do that again. Can I still stay here? Thank you. You don't have to feed it to me. You can't, it's a bottle, you can't drink out of this yet. But yeah, would you say yes to that? No, of course not. I am really excited because I think that this is a big turning point for him as far as trusting people. This character has been, well, let me just say, at the beginning, he was definitely out for himself. To get where he wanted to get to his lover or boyfriend. And now he's at this point where he clearly cares about Madison. And whether or not he fully cares about, like, Nick and Alicia, he cares about them as an extension of Madison. And I feel like the deal that he did was to protect all of them. Whether or not, you know, it was going to work out, he tried the best that he thought he could. But now he's definitely having to, like, chill from that mentality, because you can't really have that in the zombie apocalypse, because I can see in real life how, you know, he pulls off these, like, long cons, gets money, gets, like, all this important stuff. Sorry, Athena's moving the camera. Gets all this important stuff to him, like, pre-apocalypse, but that's not really how the world works now. So I am excited to see I'm excited for everyone, who am I kidding? But I'm really excited for this because I want to see what approach and what type of man he is going to be after this whole con man attitude is dropped. But yeah, that's going to be all for this Fear Friday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks again to Fear Source. I seriously love your Twitter. Like, it's amazing. I love your page. Thanks for all of you guys who consistently come on, comment, and watch Fear Friday and are so genuinely excited for it. It makes me so genuinely excited for it. But yeah, Athena's excited to. Athena, can I have a hug? Can we give me a hug, bud? Thank you. Wait, you want to say bye-bye? Bye-bye. Oh, you guys don't get a bye. Sorry. Yeah, that's going to be all for this Fear Friday. Next week, I'm going to be talking about Luciana. Again, thanks to Fear Source. And yeah, I'm going to have a link to their Twitter in the description below if you guys want to go ahead and read all their links and see their page. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like always, like and subscribe. Bye, guys.